Hey everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to episode 17 of my Let's Build series. In this episode, we actually finished the apartment, which means that this is the last video of this being built. So what I do in this video is I make the garages and the other common areas on the first floor, and I also put in all the markers, to make it function as a late night apartment, and also set the NPC doors. So the first thing that I'm doing in this video is both of the garages. And honestly, garages are probably my least favorite part of the interior to do. I don't know, I guess it's just that you can't really make them as pretty. I feel like I'm not good at making amazing looking garages. I just usually make concrete floors and walls and just put some toolboxes in, and that's about it. I don't usually do too much decorating in the garages, which you'll see in a little bit. I mean, I did do some, but it's not the amount of detail that I normally do. So here I'm just putting in the parking spaces. In this garage here, I actually didn't put any cars in it since it's on the opposite side of the building from where the part that your Sims live in is. And here I'm just putting down some concrete floors, like I said. That's what I typically put in these. And also I forgot to mention that I put in the invisible lightings, which is what you get from the buy debug cheat. And when you go to find them, the icon looks like nothing, but they're really useful. I didn't start using them a lot until recently. I kind of forgot about their existence, but they're so useful for places like this where they're split leveling and it's hard to get the same lighting on both levels. And you can see there that I put in some decorations, like the toolbox type stuff that I was mentioning. And that's really about it as far as decorations in here, other than these posters that I'm putting on the walls. I don't know why, I just don't like decorating garages. I also then had to get the invisible lighting on the second level there. So, I had to try to flatten out the level above it to get it so I could put it there. And that's just so, like I mentioned a little bit ago, the lighting on both of the levels of it is even. Because you have the lower foundation height floor in there, and then you have the full height wall above it. And there you can see I have the lighting in, and the lighting on both levels is the same. And then I'm just putting in a light that you can actually see, which just looks like a light you would typically see in a garage. And the last piece of furniture that I put in there was that laundry tub type sink and that crappy looking mirror. And I originally had it over top of that poster, and that just looked weird. So I was just moving things over a bit, as you can see here. So I put that poster there in the middle, moved that other sign there, and then left the sink and the mirror where it was in the middle. So this is pretty much all the decoration that I had in the garage. It's not really much, but I guess it doesn't need to be because it's a garage. And now I'm just putting in the wall paintings. As you can see there on that one wall in the back, I had that same wood paneling, and then here I'm just putting in a simple grayish wallpaper. And then, just putting that on all the walls. So this is how that garage looks. And I guess it's not too bad, but like I said, not a whole lot going there. So now I'm moving over to the other garage, which is actually under where your Sims are. And I'm just putting in the invisible lighting on both levels there as well. After putting that in, I just put in the same flooring that I had over in the other garage, which is that tiled type of concrete flooring. And then I also put in, the parking spaces. And like I said, in this garage, I actually put in a few cars. So there's just 2 cars in there. And then, if the 2 garages, if you have, for some reason, have more than 4 cars, there's always, a bunch of space in the driveways that you can put parking spaces in and put even more cars in. So here I just put in this, I think it's the Ford Fiesta. It was free store content. So with this, I try to avoid using store content unless it was free, just because I wanted more people to be able to download this since, it was a Let's Build. And I usually don't use much store content anyway. And here, I wasn't sure if they could get into the garage through the garage door, so I was just putting in an actual door off of, the entrance they go into to get up to their apartment. Because, as you'll see, I do put in the, I think it was a sculpting station for Ambitions, so I want to make sure that the Sims are actually able to use that, so like I said, I'm just putting in this little stair area in here, and had a few issues with trying to get the stairs to go in, but I finally got it there. And something I should mention is that while this is the last video of it being built, since after this video it's finished, is that this won't be the last video with this house in it, because I will be doing a house building video of it, like the same way that I did for a hint of lime and poinsettia place, that same time-lapse style. Sorry about that. And I just think that that's a really good way to have kind of a grand finale for this. You know, like you watch it being built and then you get a cool video of it being built in the time-lapse style and then a nice cinematic fly through and with a little story. I'm not going to do anything too involved with the story, not like what I did with Poinsettia Place, which made that video pretty long, but I just want to do something special for Christmas with that video. But the story with this will be pretty simple. Like, it won't take up much time. There's not really going to be much to it, but I just want to do something. So I will start working on that tomorrow or the day after that, and I'm thinking that it will probably be up by the end of this weekend, since you know that the video should take less time than the building this apartment did. So yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to seeing this apartment in that way, you know, like actually being used in the game with Sims going through it and stuff, and I'm looking forward to making that. I actually really like making house building videos. But getting back to what's going on here in the garage, as you can see, we have all the furniture in there, and I used the paneling against that back wall as well, and the same wallpaper, except that I changed it to being more of a reddish color. And you also have that sculpting station in there as well, so your Sims can go in there and use it, and it doesn't cost them anything since it's in a public area. And now I'm moving over here to where kind of a common area is, which will have a call box and a walled mailbox in there, instead of, you know, having the regular mailbox out front. And the little room off to the side will also be a small gym, so your Sims can go in there and work out, and all that gym equipment will cost them nothing since it's not actually in their apartment. And that's how the markers work, which I'll explain once I go to do the markers, you know, in case people aren't familiar with how the different markers you need to use to make an apartment work. And I'm getting that's the wall mailbox, and I'm actually getting that from the buy debug items, which once again you type in testing cheats enable true. And then once you put that cheat in, you type in buy debug, so buy DE bug. And it gives you all these really cool items, and it's kind of fun to go through and see what's in there. And as you can see, I have the call box, which is what they can use, which is what guests can use to call up to your Sim's apartment to say, hey, can I come in? And then that wall mailbox completely replaces the mailbox that normally comes with houses. You know, once you put that in, that other one vanishes. And here I was just trying to figure out what to do with the rest of the space in here. Like, originally I was thinking about having some counters so it would look like a front desk, but this room was kind of small for that. It's not very big. So after playing around with different patterns and, you know, ways of having the counters, I decided to just get rid of them and instead make it more of a kind of sitting area where you just can go to pick up your mail or, you know, call someone who lives at the apartment. And I'm also, you know, putting in a fish tank back there and putting in a coffee table on either side of it just because, I don't know, I thought that was a nice decorative touch. I don't know. Sometimes I just do random stuff like that with the move objects. And putting some plants up there. And then after doing that, I was trying to experiment with putting in some bar stools next to those counters over there. But like I said, I think that looks a little bit too crowded to have the bar stools in there since it's a pretty small common area. And then I also recolored the call box and mailbox so they matched the fish tank, the color of the fish tank. And then this was the point at which I got rid of the counters, as you can see there. And I wasn't, like I said, I had a hard time trying to figure out exactly what to do with this room. But here I'm just putting in a curtain, trying to figure out a stripe pattern for it. And kind of like what I normally do, I used the color that I made this to, you know, dictate the other colors that I used in this room. So I ended up just going with this blue pinstriped pattern. And now I was just trying to see if I could put something else in on this fish tank since I didn't like those two plants. And I ended up just putting that plant in there next to it. And then wall painting there. And I got rid of the other plant that was on top of there and just kind of left it having nothing on those little coffee tables next to the fish tank. Since I wasn't exactly sure if there's, you know, fish pet related stuff to put there. And then you just put another painting over the fish tank. And there, just put in a nice big rug in the middle of the room. And made it the blue color to match the curtains. And then now that that's done, I put a plant in that corner. Then I also wanted to put some couches to, like I said, make it a sitting area. And I actually really wanted to use that couch photo store content. I got a EA cash card for Christmas, then I used it to buy a few different collections, and I was like, I wanted to use them, but like I said, I didn't want to have any paid store content in this Let's Build, so I was trying to figure out, from the non-store couches, which one to use. So I ended up using this one from Late Night. And I was trying to darken it a bit, and then I ended up just using the same pattern that was from that store content chair that I liked. And then, put in chair on the other side. And then after that, I just want to put in a coffee table to, put something in that center area in there. And I'm not really this isn't one of my best rooms. Like, I just wasn't sure what to do for it. So I was just like, I don't know, I'll just stick some couches in it and just to fill up some space. But, I guess it didn't turn out too bad, but I'm definitely it's not a room where I'm really happy about how it turned out. And I'm just, finishing it up by putting in some paintings on those walls there. Also, I do plan on doing another Let's Build series because I really want to do that, and I'm hoping, hopefully enough of you guys like this and want me to do another one, but I do want you guys to have a say in what I do on the next one, so I plan to do a type of poll, and I'll be putting out a video about that over the next few days, about what's going to be in the poll, because I think it'd be more fun if you guys had a say in what I do for the next Let's Build. I'm thinking that the new Let's Build series would probably start within a few weeks of the house building video for this one going up. And then, before that, I also plan on actually starting a Let's Play series, just because that's something I want to do, and I tend to neglect the gameplay, and, with Sims 4 coming out in a year, I want to experience some of the gameplay that I didn't yet or, haven't in a while. So I don't know if I'll be good at doing Let's Plays, but, as long as I have fun, that's all that matters. So I plan to start that in a week or two. So new stuff coming to this channel, hopefully some people like that. But anyway, I finished that common area over there. So now I'm moving on to the gym. And as you can see there, I put a nice, 3 wide mirror, and I'm just putting columns on either side of it as kind of a neat border for it. Because, I don't know, I just think that looks kind of cool, and it makes it look better than just having a mirror by itself up against the wall. And now I'm putting in the equipment, which is just a weightlifting machine and a treadmill. Nothing too much since this is kind of a small gym. And most apartment complexes tend to have small, crappy gyms anyway. And, you got a stereo and a exercise poster over there. I guess that's on proper form or something. I don't know exactly what it is. And we just put a plant over there. And here I'm putting a painting. So there's something on that wall and an end table. And on that end table, I put this little decorative piece that came with, I think it was Town Life stuff, but it's supposed to be some gym shoes and a gym bag, I guess. I don't know, I just thought that kind of went well in there. And, of course, some shade, some curtains, and a rug to finish out the furniture. So doing the gym didn't really take me too much time. I got that done pretty quickly, and I used that same paneling from over in the common area as an accent wall. And now I'm just making the other wall green to match, the green from the curtains and the rug. And that pretty much finishes this gym area. So now that that's done, it's time to move on to putting in the hidden room, public room markers to, like I said, make this function. And I also have to put in the NPC doors as well. I initially had some issues with, getting it so I would be able to select the doors to be NPC. So what you have to do in order to get that to happen is you have to hold down Control and Shift and click on door. And it only works once you have hidden and public room markers in. So you have to have, on either side of the door, you have to have a public room marker and a hidden room marker on the other side in order for the NPC doors to work. And all they do is they just make it so, if you go up to the door and there's a sim in there, you can knock and they'll come out and talk to you, but there's really no apartment there, so, there's nothing to go inside of. And yeah, so you have to have the testing sheets enabled, and here just putting in the hidden room markers in those big blank areas. And you normally can't set a door that's on the outside of the lot as an NPC door because the public room markers actually don't work on the outside. Because I believe once you put in either a hidden room or public room marker, it deducts the cost of the outside off of the total of the lot. So you have to make a separate little room off of the outside doors and then put a door off of that, have a public room marker in the little area off the outside door and a hidden room marker on the other side in order for it to work. And like I said, you just hold down Control and Shift and then select Make NPC Door. And then that should do it. So the hidden room markers just make it look like the room's all black, like the floors are black, the walls are black, so you can't see anything in them, which if you've played in the late night apartments is kind of what you'll see in the areas next to where your Sims actually live. And then the public room marker just marks those areas off as public, so your Sims can go down there, and I think the NPC Sims will also show up in those areas too. So, in this you might see one of the NPC Sims in the gym or at the pool or just sitting on those couches in that common area in there. So, and the nice thing about doing the NPC doors is it's like other people live in there, so, you have other Sims in the building that you can talk to. Because, like I said, you just go to the door and ring it, and they usually come out. And here I'm just going through and trying to see. I was still having the issues with getting the NPC door thing to work. So, because I hadn't yet made the little areas. But this apartment has a total of 6 NPC doors in it. So I guess that's a potential of 6 other NPC families. I'm not sure if there's a limit as to the number of NPC families that can live in one lot. So maybe only one of them will have a family in it. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But here I'm just making the rest of those small areas to put the NPC doors off of, and like I said, marking them as NPC doors. And while I'm doing this, I want to just take the last few minutes of this video to say thank you to all of those who have been following the series. Like, I was surprised to see that there are people who seem to be watching most of the videos and, commenting on a lot of them and giving me feedback, and I really appreciate that so much. And the really nice thing about doing Let's Builds is that if I get stuck, I can ask you guys what you think I should do, and I've gotten really good feedback that has helped me to make this apartment, what it is. So once again, thank you so much for those of you who have been following the series, and I'm just really happy to see that there are people who actually, like the series and have been watching the episodes. So once again, thank you, and I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing another Let's Build series from me, and hopefully the next series will be, go even better because I'll actually know what I'm doing from the beginning, unlike this one where in the first episode I said, this might be a little bit bad. So, thank you for watching this series, and that's the end of this, so thanks for watching, and bye!